first just tell me how much time is left on?
We are 11 minutes and 14 seconds into
Okay.
the gentleman's layout.
Thank you. Would the gentleman yield for a couple of questions?
Does the gentleman yield for questions?
Absolutely.
Gentleman
Thank-
yields.
Thank you, Representative. So I've long said that I feel like a big part of the answer moving forward is making sure that people who are here illegally, who are given jobs by United States citizens, should be here. We can give a permit so they're here legally. And I think my impression is that's where you're trying to get with this bill. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
absolutely right.
So part of what as I've walked around the floor talking to some of the Republicans, their concern is that the way the bill is written, it says to bring more people in. And I think, who was it on the opening back here? Mr. Alcott made the point, hey, there's so many here, so many people here. Your bill is saying let's bring some more over. You heard that, right?
I did.
So, what I would like to ask is, do you think it would be possible to see if we could work with some of the Republicans here about language that speaks to the people who are here only, who are already here, so that your bill is not one that can be interpreted as we want to bring more people over here from other countries, but instead we want to work with businesses in the state of Texas, probably some that some of the folks here, some of the members here may work for some of those businesses, but to work with businesses in Texas who have hired people here and who have them here illegally, but they need them to make the companies work. Whether you think maybe we could try to work on an amendment, if you'd be open to pulling the bill down, postponing for a little bit, trying to get an amendment that speaks to the governor, because your bill directly says the governor would work with and get essentially permission by the administration in Washington, by President Trump, right? That's the way your bill is written?
Exactly.
Would you be open to pulling it down to see if we could, and postpone it to see if we could get an amendment that does what I think you're really trying to do, which is trying to address the issue of the people who are here already, who have been hired by United States companies, by Texas companies, but they've hired them because they need those workers because Americans won't take those jobs. So, hold on a second, the governor, yeah. So I know this is where this bill to pass, it would be the governor and President Trump who would decide whether or not to move forward. That's correct, right?
That is correct.
Would you be interested in trying to do that to see if we could actually get some good lawyers like Mitch Little over here to help us write it up in a way that is acceptable to what you're actually trying to do, which is address the people
And
here?
the answer is generally yes. I'm open to making sure that we get the right instruction through the governor's office into Texas Workforce Commission to make this a workable program.
But also to go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But I can also tell you, while you mentioned that there are some Republicans in this House that feel that this is a threat of some sort, have concerns with it, would like to look at it some more, would like to put more safeguards on it. There are many that are also saying, let's move forward with this. This is absolutely what we need. The business community needs it across multiple industries. And as long as we have the governor's office oversight with Texas Government Workforce Commission, working with existing laws, federal laws that are going to be overseen by ICE, this is a good bill as it stands today.
I hear you, but if you get 50 Republicans to vote no on this bill, it's not going to pass the Senate, is what I'm told. That's what I'm told. So I'm trying to help you in something that
Sure.
I believe in. I believe that we should work with existing companies here in Texas who have already hired people illegally, but they've done it because they need that workforce to be able to operate, and to work with them and to make it clear that this is not a bill that is seeking to open the floodgates to bring more people. That's not what this, I think that's your primary interest is
Absolutely.
addressing those who are here already. That's my impression, but would that be right? That that's what you're trying to do?
Say that again?
My impression is that your main interest is trying to address the people who are here already, working here already.
No, that's not the intent of the bill.
That's not?
It is not the intent of the bill. The intent of the bill is not to give jobs to individuals that are here illegally. The intent of the bill is to work in collaboration with the Mexican government, as we have regulation today, that allows us to be able to bring specific skill sets that into Texas to be able to fill specific needs that the Texas Workforce Commission has identified. That is the intent of the bill.
Okay, thanks.
That's what the bill says.
Mr. Speaker,
Ms. Gomez, for what purpose?
would the gentleman yield for some questions?
Does the gentleman
course.
yield? Gentleman yields for questions.